as everyone knows, the last round of a tournament is the most important one, and everyone rose to the occasion. There were some nerves and there were some missed wins. Let me take you through some of the interesting games that happened in the final round. First and foremost, the game between Nandita and Adrit. Adrit was on 5, and he just needed a draw to get across to 5.5 and become the champion. He got exactly that. It was a very interesting game. Nandita played well. She played e4 at the wrong moment because it allowed a free pawn, basically. Wait a minute, did it? Takes. Yeah, here she could have played bishop takes. Then it's not a free pawn. But with knight takes. He just takes the. Wait, yeah. Even knight takes, bishop takes, the bishop would be defending the knight. Wait a minute, was. Oh, yeah, knight takes, bishop takes, and if I play knight takes, bishop takes back. Yeah, there's nothing. So she lost a pawn here. And after knight takes, queen takes. Uh, Again, here knight takes, bishop takes will defend the queen. So there is no bishop h7 tactic. So knight g5 was played, threatening bishop h7 and win the queen. Here, I would probably consider rook d8. Adrit played an even better move, I believe, queen b6, defending the bishop as well, so that the pawn doesn't have to take. And queen c2. Now, Nandita put some pressure on the king side. g6, just safety move. Was it necessary? Yeah, it was kind of necessary. Was h6 possible? H6 was also possible, I believe. Okay, g6, rook e1, bishop c5. Takes. This actually helped Adrit. Opening up of the f file actually helped Adrit. So Nanda should have developed a bishop instead of that, I believe. h3, knight d5. Now Adrit is taking control. He's already threatening bishop f2 or rook f2. He also wants knight b4. So rook f1, knight b4. Queen c3, bishop d4. Very nice move. Not even going ahead, putting pressure first. And then he takes. Queen takes. And then comes rook f7. Not even going after the pawn. I don't get that. Why didn't he just take the pawn? It would have allowed. What would it allow actually? But yeah, bishop f2 was possible. But he just plays rook f7, rook b1, rook b1, just develop the bishop. Rook f8. Now bishop e3 takes. Everything got exchanged. Oh, why didn't he take with the rook then? Why not exchange of one more piece? Not queen take. Queen can't take it. Yeah, this was just not good. I mean, it is okay. Still, it's equal, but why not exchange of that piece as well? Okay, queen d8. So because of that, he lost a pawn. Queen takes, king f6. There's a huge threat of queen check, but of course he didn't fall for that. Queen check, queen takes, and now he got the draw here. He got a reputation, and of course he would take it because he just needs a draw to become the champion. If Nanda wanted, she could play g3, but then queen f2, queen g2, it's still better for black, I believe. I mean, yeah. Kings. What is this pawn and game? Should be equal. But that was the best chance if she wanted to try and win. But of course, she also was happy with the draw. The second big news is this crazy game between Anand and Asmi. The craziest game of the round, or maybe the tournament. Because let me show you the game. E5 knight out, bishop out, queen g4. So this is something I've faced before against Samartha. He usually plays this in blitz. Then I usually go knight f6, queen takes, and then rook g8. No, not rook g8, rook f8. Just sacrificing a pawn and complicating the position. But yeah, this is classical. So she goes for queen f6, knight d5, and from here things go crazy. King f8 because g7 was hanging, and c7 is also hanging. Knight h3, queen goes back. d3. Why didn't it take here? Because the bishop is hanging. Okay, d3, bishop back, making space for the queen. Pawn c3, queen c5, d4, queen d6, queen f3, threatening knight c7, I believe, f6, pawn a4, a6, bishop a3, again a good move, threatening b5. So many threats. So Asmi had to defend like very badly here. She defended really well, knight e7, B5 anyway, bishop 6. But B5, I don't know. Was there better options here? Hmm. Rook F1 comes to mind. Because B5 allows bishop C5 and an exchange of piece happen. Right now, everything is controlled. Maybe A5 putting the bishop back and then maybe Rook F1. Does Knight G5 make any sense? Any sense at all to Knight G5? Anyway, let's see. B5, bishop back, takes. Now Asmi can breathe a little bit because everything seems to be getting exchanged. Another exchange. Here, Anand had to be careful because of Queen A1. So he goes King D2. Queen takes. Asmi grabs a pawn. Rook F1. So the worst is still not over. Knight G5, D6. A lot of things can happen. Queen A3. D6. Okay. What is that about? Yeah, he wants takes and Queen H5. Threatening mate. Queen E5 can be played. Takes things. So it's become an endgame, but still the pieces are so awkward for Asmi. How did she get out of this? F5, Rook E1, Knight F6, Rook E7. Still good for Asmi. Position is awesome. Now what is the next thing to do? Knight G5? Yeah, probably Knight G5. Oh yeah, here already there's a threat of Rook F7. Wait, minus 4 points and black is winning. That means there is this is a nice move. This is a nice interference for Asmi. Did she have the time to calculate this? No, she was in one and a half minutes. She didn't find this. This would have won on the spot. Everything solved. You get the rook, the most active piece right now. But yeah, she went for the second best move, d5. And here Anand did some fantasy here. He he went into a fantasy variation where he thought he can just give up the piece and then just somehow play rook e7. But rook e7 is not there because of knight, and he don't have time to play c4. So basically that means it's just a piece down. And Asmi played, yeah, Asmi now just grabs control with rook a1 and exchanges rooks. And from then it does just one-way traffic. This was a very nice game between Vrikshav and Arjun. As you can see, Arjun has just put all his pieces on the king side. The position looks good for black. Rook f1 defending. Now rook g6. What was the best move here, by the way? Rook into f3 was playable. Ooh, that's very hard to see. An exchange sack just to open up the position. But this is so deep. It's not easy to find. But yeah, it's very tempting also. Anyway, rook g6, king h1. Still, oh, rook into f3 and then queen h5. Okay, rook f7. Arjun doesn't see it. It's difficult to see that. Queen d1. He calmly builds up the attack. Rook f8. He's just waiting. He wants the queen to come over now. Takes. So what Vriksha was doing is correct. He's playing on the queen side. But yeah, what is the issue here actually? Knight takes, rook takes, and still rook f3. The engine just wants black to play rook f3. But yeah, knight g5 is a more calmer move. And now queen d2, g4. So that's a nice resource found by Arjun. Takes a pawn sack to get the pieces in the game. By the way, e5 is also hanging. Not right now, because if you take queen h2 check is there. But f3 has to be played to make space for the king. From here, how did he convert? King f2 looks like all fine, isn't it? Ooh, that is nice. That's a nice sacrifice. I was watching this game till here, till he played f3. I did not find rook f3. Wow, rook f3 is such a hard move to find. Giving up a full rook. The point is now rook f6 will get the piece back. Or wait, king e2, then queen g2, and then you'll get the piece back. Yeah, and you also get a queen. Wow. So the rewards of thinking well and practicing tactics is this. How hard did he think? Yeah, he thought like 35 seconds and found this. It's because he's good at tactics. Being good at tactics pays. And it paid him a rook and a queen. Basically a queen. Now, this was a very nice game by Siddhant. He got two extra pawns in the middle game. And the way he just kept pushing them was very nice. h5 already. King goes back, h6. King f7 is a very silly move because bishop moves and then exchange of the piece. So pieces get exchanged means it's becoming easier for the pawns. G6, direct G6, and now rook h3. Very nice move because if you play G7 directly, there is bishop takes, pawn takes. That was also winning. No? Even direct G7 was winning. You didn't need rook h3 actually. Can we just play rook? What's the problem? So, yep, all good. Okay, he wanted to play it safe, rook h3, and then g7. We had to give up a piece for that, and the pawn is not even gone. Okay, rook h8, very nice move. And now he is a full rook up, and he won the game. Siddharth versus Rutvik. Here we can see, yeah, this was a funny game. I say funny because here knight takes, queen takes was played by Rutvik. And Rutvik is basically lost after rook e1. I don't know what did he see. He saw knight e4, yeah, and he could not see anything wrong with this position. The engine doesn't like it black. What is white's best move? Queen f3. Wait, it's not that simple. Yeah, it's not that simple. The most tempting move here is f3, and Siddharth played it. He played it in 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds, and it's a blunder because it opens up the bishop. Now the lines are very nice. Pawn takes. If king f1, then pawn takes b. Wait, pawn takes b2. Is it the right move? Probably, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's winning because it wins a piece, isn't it? Piece or a rook, or piece and a rook. Anyway, it's winning. And he played king h1, and it directly fell to knight f2 check. The funny thing here is you can't even take this queen. It was black who hung the queen first by keeping it in line of the king. But white is still not able to take it. Because, for example, here if you go king f1, then what will happen? Then just knight e3. Bishop takes. And the line is still blocked. So king f1, bishop e3. Played bishop e3. Knight e3 was better because it doesn't lose a piece. Bishop e3, rook takes, bishop takes. Again, if rook e1, there is bishop back to e3. So Siddharth was so close to getting the queen, but he couldn't get it. Takes, castles, takes, and from here he just converted without any problems. He's up a queen. The last game I'm going to show you is this end game, which I think Ishwan messed up. He played this correctly, rook c7, defending the pawn, and then he played c5 and then c4. Position is great. Now what is needed is after f4, you need this. This is the next thing to do. Get this into a pawn endgame, or at least make the rook active. Instead, he went in front of the pawn. That is passive for the rook. King moves. He just waited. That is not good at all. Why is he waiting? You have to do useful things because if you don't, yeah, he's just waiting. And there goes a pawn. One pawn gone. Now it's too late. Even now, the pieces are not active. Another pawn gone. So only Nishwant is to blame for this. So why didn't he take the pawn directly? That would have been at least drawish. Here takes, pushes. Now it's two pawns. At least this was equal. Again, bad decision making there. And also fast play, 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah, now it's a clean pawn up. With the king so active, it's easy to win for Niranjan. And that's how that game ended. So at the end of the tournament, we have Adrit, who's crowned the champion. Under 10 champion is Siddhant, who did really well. He's actually second in the main itself. So we have really good performances by a lot of players, and the tournament is over.